My life started out, I was an interior designer in Montreal. That's how I made my living. I moved to Fredericton 5 years ago and worked for government. I had the opportunity to work for a couple of departments for the provincial government here. And that actually opened my eyes and made me realize that all the benefits that I could get by pursuing my bachelor's degree. With sport, I never had time to focus on school, and I decided it was time to go back to school, get my bachelor's degree, and that would be beneficial for me in the long term. So I'm actually enrolled right now at the University of New Brunswick, where I'm actually doing my Bachelor's of Recreation and Sports Studies. So it's kind of funny to go back to school and to be a student again after so long, but I'm really enjoying the opportunity and it's a lot of fun actually. For me, the first time I went back to school, just doing that, you know, when you're newly disabled and you're trying to get back into the swing of things and going back to the school for the first time and going back to studying and being that student that everybody's going to look at with, you know, coming through school, the little kid with the disability and things like that. And it was those little successes of getting the courage to do that and, you know, not being afraid. And, you know, I remember I was so proud of myself the first day of school, being able to open the doors all by myself and you know, not needing that extra help. So, but my successes come more from a sport background where, you know, I've known tremendous successes and achievements, medals and things like that, and those are really special to me and hold a special part in my heart. I think no matter what you do, there's challenges in everything, and I think that's for everyone, disabled or not. For me, challenges were there's always going to be some accessibility issues, and that could be ranging from needing a parking spot close to the classroom or the building where class is being held, or all the jobs I've had in the past where I required, you know, access like to a parking spot and to the ramp and making sure that in the winter it's cleared off and things like that. And so those are some of the challenges we face on a daily basis. But what I found in my work life and school, people are really accommodating and really want to help. They need to know what you need in terms of help. Like they don't necessarily know, and you can't assume that they do. You really need not to be afraid and ask. I think there's different individuals that have had different impacts on my life. The first for me was, I still remember to this day being in rehab and somebody coming to talk to me about school and sports and getting back into the swing of things and taking control of my life. And that person took me to a wheelchair basketball game, and it became one of the biggest passions in my life. But that person there, you know, taking the time to come and sit down with me, he sat on the floor and he played with my wheelchair and made it, you know, better suited for me. And he showed me that I could, you know, how to fix it up, make it comfortable, you know, make it adequate for me. And I learned a lot from that individual. The best advice I could give is there are always difficult moments. Like, no matter what we do, there's obstacles, disabled or not. But going through something like that, it's hard. There are hard moments in there, and I think the best thing that I could say is we often create our barriers ourselves. There's fears and there's uncertainty and there's a lot of questions that we have. I remember like being newly disabled and feeling all these emotions of just not knowing. And the best thing I could say is there's got to be somebody that you can go and talk to. There's got to be somebody. If it's not the counselors that are there, or family or friends because they're going through that adjustment just like yourself, there's somebody you can call. There's somebody out there. You know, there's people like me that, you know, you can get in touch with and share experiences and ask those questions that you need to ask, because once you get the answers that you're looking for, and once you get to share your thoughts, and sometimes all we need is a sounding board to be able to move on to that next step. With a new disability, there's always questions that we're going to ask about, okay, what kind of career do I want to do now? Does it change from what I want it to be before? Sometimes it will, sometimes it won't. Sometimes we just need to adapt or make a couple of modifications, but that career is still available. It just kind of changes in a slight way. And I think getting that information and then just going for it. There's nothing better than at least trying it. You might not like it for different reasons, you know. There's no shame into trying it. I've tried different things. I've had different careers in my life. They've changed because of circumstance. They've changed, you know, about life environments, and they've also changed. My goals have changed. When you get older, you want different things, and there's no shame in that. And I think once you know what you want to do, you got to go for it. You got to inquire about it. And even though the road is scary sometimes, like I said before, there's people there to help you. There's accessibility centers in every college, university. There's people there to help. And if it's going back to high school, going back to college, or starting a university career, or simply going back to work, there's people there that are willing to help you, and just ask the questions and just go for it, I think, is the best advice I could give, because you won't be disappointed.